Hello guys, here is DJ Josie and this is the second tutorial about this MySQL generator here on phpcode.ag/mysql. In this tutorial we'd like to show you how to create a login form and a registration form in about 10 minutes. Right, let's go and select English and we will create user login table. Its primary key will be ID or user ID, and let's list here the field names you want to add here. For example, username, password, email, image, about you will be a file upload field, and about you, that will be a text area, and city, age, that will be a basic registration. Let's go and press populate. This populate button will fill the field names here. The username is required and is unique, and its format will be username format. The password will be a password field and it is required, and I'm using MD5 hash. The email field will be required and unique, and its type will be email address. Image about you will be a file upload field. I don't want to set that required, but the upload folder will be user profiles, and this user profiles folder need to create on the server, and these are the formats I will allow to the user to upload. About you is a text area and it's not a required field. City is not a required field. Age, maybe it's required, and I'm gonna set this send mail in add PHP. I will set this yes, and the program will send an email. If you got a question about the basics, let's see the previous tutorial about the basic usage of this generator. Get the generated code by using the generate button, and if you scroll down you can see the download the generated files URL. Let's press and you get the whole code, and I have here a folder registration, and I will save the registration files into this folder. I will use some files from this project, and I'm gonna show you how you can use these files in your programs. I've got here a template. This will be a template, and let's add a registration link to this template, and in the first run I'm gonna rename, and I will open the PHP. I'm using Dreamweaver to edit this file. Right, I have here an image. I don't want to show how to create URLs. These are the basics. Before this div, I'm gonna add here a URL. Let's say href registration, and site is equal with registration. I will use this container here to include the registration files to this area. Let's say if site will be equal with the variable from the URL. It's a proof technique. If it would be better if it's set, let's save the variable itself. In other case, let's be empty. And now I'm gonna use switch structure, and if the site is registration, if it's registration, let's include the include folder and registration.php, or simpler reg.php. And into this folder I'm gonna create include and reg.php. I will use from the registration folder the connect php, and I will put into the includes folder, and I have here the add and added php. These are the registration, and I have here the reg php. I'm using add php, and I'm gonna show you what sort of codes should delete it. Include a connect php is not necessary, because I will use this index.php, and in the very beginning I'm gonna include the include slash connect.php. And how to edit this connect php, you have to add the host name. In my case I have a previously created connect, but I don't want to show you. If you don't know how to edit an SQL connection, you should ask your server vendor. So I have here, and I'm gonna add the SQL connection. Here is the user, and a password, and here goes the database. I'm closing the connect php, and let's go to the reg php. So now I have the connect php included before. I've included the reg php into the index php. And header should not be here, and in the form action I need to add that URL how I get the registration. So this is index.php, and the O variable will be equal with registration. And if you have posted this form, I will check if a submit button or a hidden element has a value, and here it is. If the add hidden element has a value, let's include the SQL insert program, and I have here an insert SQL program in the add.php, and let's copy and paste the codes from the add.php from the PHP block to the very end of the PHP block, and drag PHP will insert the inserted data from the form. Let's format the codes, and now I need to create the table. If you downloaded the project, you will see a mysql database text file. Open and run in Phpmyadmin to create the table. I go to Phpmyadmin. Here is the and let's create the table. And u underscore login is the table name. It hasn't got a record. Let's copy the files from the hard drive to the server, and I need the index.php, the images, and the include folder. And let's test. I will add a better style to the URL colors. Links will have a lighter colors. Say registration is here. I will add images. The variable from the URL is S, not an O. So the reg.php should have better colors. For example, white. And I should use a better file coding, so let's upload the files, and here it is. This is the registration form. And in reg.php I have somewhere an include. The footer will be deleted. So it's a little bit better. And in reg.php I have here a file upload, and I need to create the user profiles folder. And let's try. and register. My username will be DJ Josie, my password, my email, my age, and about me. If you press add, I should see the registration, but in the reg.php the action is wrong. This should be better. Let's refresh the page and try again. And it said details added. And if I go to the table, I should see my registration right here. And this is it. It is in the table. Try to register the same user again, and it said username is already in the table and email is already in the table. Let's try to add another valid username format. It said username is not in the username format. Let's try to add a wrong email address. It said email is not an email. So this is the registration part of this tutorial. In the next tutorial we'll continue and show how to create a login. So that was the first part of this tutorial, how to create a registration form using the MySQL generator on phpcode.hu/mysql. If you have a question, feel free to ask. Just leave a comment right below. Bye.